Outdoor Activities for 2020, William Hovey Smith. I've been busy writing lately, in particular books, and recently I published Hunting with Muzzleloading Revolvers. Also, buying used muzzleloading guns will be available in a few days, and the same can be said for the first draft of my novel, Father of the Grooms. But I am going to be doing more in the outdoors over the next year, and this video is about those tasks.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And as most of you are aware, I am a book author. And some of my previous books have been things like Practical Bow Fishing, Backyard Deer Hunting, and Extreme Muzzleloading. I also have a series of e-books that I worked on that I started in 2013. And I'm now completing that series and will do so this year. I have been busy for the last 9 months working on my novel. So you haven't seen much from me so far as YouTube videos go. And that's why. As a novelist, when I get into something like that, you know, it's plug at it pretty well every day. But the title of this video is Outdoor Activities for 2020. So I want to tell you what I've got going on and what you're going to see during the coming year. Now, I just published Hunting with Muzzleloading Revolvers. This is one of my short shot series of books, and as you might suppose, is about muzzleloading revolvers. Now, among the guns I cover, they start from .22 caliber. This happens to be a .44 caliber Remington Sheriff's model. And this is what I typically carry as a backup gun. It's not sufficient to take deer or hogs unless they're tiny, and I mean tiny, because it has about the power of a .38 Special. The other guns I discussed were the Colt Walker, and I had one specially done up called the Super Walker. I started with it as a kit, and then it got nitride coated. It got considerable gunsmithing work done on it. It had a red dot sight put on it, and I hunted with it. Now this one is a Ruger Old Army, which now sports a 14-inch barrel and a scope, as you see. And this is a gun that I use for hunting. Now I've gone ahead and sold the Super Walker because I have a better gun, and this is it. Ditto with a Pieta Buffalo revolver, which I also describe in that book. And I had a very successful hunt with that, as a matter of fact, and I took 2 hogs with single shots on the same day. Now we also talk about in this new book everything from .22 caliber revolvers to .32 caliber revolvers to .44 caliber revolvers and to the Ruger, which uses a slightly larger bullet. And talk about using these with modern powders as well as elongate cast bullets, which make them much more effective hunting handguns. Now that's what I'm about. I'm about hunting and useful handguns. Yes, I'm interested in the historic stuff, but only vaguely. Now, in my novel, this is Father of the Grooms, also known as Murder, Marriage, and Mafia. An American family meets their Sicilian cousins. And in this novel, 2 guys who are having marital troubles and have difficulty getting and or staying married go to Sicily, and through a series of events wind up marrying 2 gals of Sicilian origin because they are given literally an offer they cannot refuse. If they don't accept the fairest flowers of the island, none of that family is going to leave Sicily alive. So, there are guns involved in that book, including this one, which is a stainless steel Remington 1911 and 45 ACP. And this gun plays a part in the novel, and I'm also going to reload for it and hunt hogs with it this year. When we have turkey season starting up in about another month, then I will take this as a backup gun in case we run across some little friendly wild hogs like this one. So you will see more about the 1911 and me reloading for it and shooting it and hunting with it in the coming year. Now I do have another one of the brothers go on a boar hunt in Sicily, and he is going to be using a 1777 year 9 Napoleonic era 69 caliber smoothbore flintlock musket. And guess what? I special ordered one from Peter Solly yesterday. So that gun will be coming, and it will be built, and we'll have videos about that. And hopefully we will hunt with it next hunting season. Now the first draft of that novel, Father of the Grooms, is going to be available in about a week after I record this. So by the time you view it, you may well be able to get it on Amazon.com.
This is a preliminary cover from a novel. Now that knife shown on the front is a mock-up, but I will be doing actually the real thing in my shop, and we're going to make a couple out of plain steel and also out of Damascus steel. So this is another thing you can look forward to seeing next year.
Now I'm also writing right now and finishing up on Short Shot book number 7, which will be in progress and may be available by about the end of March 2020. And that book is Muzzleloading Guns for Self-Defense. And this is about using various guns for home defense if you have access to nothing else. Now obviously a gun like this huge thing is sort of out of the question. You're not likely to own something like this unless you are also a black powder hunter who hunts with muzzle-loading revolvers, and there ain't many of us guys, but there are some. So you're most apt to own some replica revolver, more like this one, or smaller or slightly larger versions, or things like young blunderbuss here. Now, blunderbuss plays a part in several other things that I'm going to be doing. It not only plays a part in muzzle-loading guns for self-defense, but also in the last of my books, which has to do with building muzzle loaders or restoring them. So this one was built from a kit, and since it was a recent build, I do have photography on it that I can use in videos as well as in the novel. So that one you will see again. Now among other interesting things you're going to see in muzzle-loading guns for self-defense are going to be double-barrel pistols, the duck foot pistol, the Lincoln Derringer, double-barrel shotguns, blunderbuss, already mentioned, muzzle-loading rifles, as well as a reasonable discussion of legal issues. Now, these change almost daily, so we're giving some general stuff that's available, but if you're going to use a muzzle-loading gun for self-defense or for anything else, yeah, you need to check on your current laws, guys, regardless of where you live, because these can change almost month by month or week by week. One hunt, a gun may be legal, the next year that same gun may not be legal, or the other way around. You just never know until you check your regulations on what you may do. A general comment about using muzzleloading guns for self-defense. Yes, you may, provided that you are in imminent danger of losing your life, of being grievously injured, or someone else is nearby. This is a thing of last resort. If you stand out and somebody's burglarizing your house and you blast him at 100 yards with your muzzle-loading rifle, which I have rifles that will shoot that well, that would be a very difficult case to defend yourself against. Why didn't you call the police? Why did you take the law in your own hands under such circumstances? Yes, the guy was stealing from you, he was robbing your house, but unless you were inside and were threatened with bodily harm, you would probably go to jail over that one in almost any jurisdiction I can think of. So, beware. Now, in my writings, I talk about various guns of various sorts, and since I'm a gun guy, I will show you some. This is Tanigashima, a Japanese matchlock. And here is a match I made up to use for it. It uses a nitrated cord as well as some other cord wrapped around it so that it will fit and pin in this rather wide cock here. Very difficult gun to shoot. Yes, it does have sights, unlike the blunderbuss, which has no sights. And I have killed game with it. But I recommend this gun for someone who wants a maximum hunting experience but doesn't want to be bothered with killing much game. Now, I've taken squirrels with it, I've taken small game with it, but I've never managed to actually get a deer to hang around long enough for me to get this thing working and shoot it. So that's still a challenge I have facing me. I'll get it done one of these days, but maybe not this year because I'm going to have other stuff to work with. Namely that Year 9 Napoleonic Dragoon. Muzzleloaders come in all fashions, and this is one of my favorite. It's the Dixie Indian gun. This was an early one made by Maruku in Japan, and it uses a brown bess, basically action, and barrel that's been shortened. And this makes a nice hunting gun. Now the Dragoon is 69 caliber, smaller, and is going to be a little bit longer than this, but shorter than the full model 77. A shorter and handier rifle is this Lyman Deerstalker. Now interestingly on this lock is not an original lock. It's a better flintlock mechanism made by L&R out of Sumter, South Carolina. And so this lock makes this gun a much more reliable shooter, as does this set of adjustable Lyman sights, which of course fit the Lyman gun, remarkably enough. Now, in my book, in my last book, I talk about building or restoring. Now in the case of the Moxbury here, I actually added this fore-end cap because the fore-end was cracked and I needed to repair it. And I couldn't get the replacements anymore, so I put a ironwood cap on it. So now this is stronger than it ever was, and we returned the rifle to service. These are reasonable guns, and they've taken a lot of game. And this one will probably participate in the turkey season. The next gun you see actually started with this. This is a broken stock from a Brunswick rifle. These were brought in by Atlanta Cutlery. And so I bought this for spare parts because I had cleaned an original gun and decided, well, as long as spare parts were available for it, I would go ahead and get it. Well, when I actually got this gun, I found the barrel was pretty good. So what I did, was go ahead and rebuild it. And so now you have the steel and other parts salvaged from that stock and put on new wood. So we put a peep sight on it, and we also put an elevated front sight on it so I could use it as a successful hunting gun, and actually I did hunt with it and did take game with it. And this is going to be featured again in my last book on building and restoring muzzleloading firearms. Now in my book I not only talk about older firearms, the sidelock guns, I also talk about all the inlines. And so of course this is a night bolt action. One of the most popular of the inline models, one of the most accurate by the way. And this is a 50 caliber gun, eminently suitable for anything that runs around in North America with proper loads. These are reliable guns. I did have the chance to actually know Tony Knight and hunt with him. Now along the way I also had a chance to know of Al Fortune, the founder of Navy Arms Company, as well as Turner Kirkland, the founder of Dixie Gun Works. So I knew some of these fellows. And Tony probably best of all, and I have quite a bit to say about him in extreme muzzleloading. If you're curious about how he thought about starting that company and how he grew it into a world famous company. In the coming weeks and months, I'm going to be working on these guns, and so you'll see more about them in my videos. Now I'm also going to be continuing on my Father of the Grooms project, in short, writing the screenplay. That's still a bit of ways. It took me 9 months to write the book. It'll take me at least 3 to 4 months to do the screenplay. But we're going to get the gun stuff sort of thrashed out and put away before I start seriously on the screenplay in about another 45 days. So that's what we got coming up for you guys. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
My books and ebooks are available from Amazon.com and booksellers worldwide. For more information on my books, blogs, and 800 videos, you can go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. To learn more about my novel, go to fatherofthegrooms.com. To discover how you can better secure your future by starting your own business, go to createyourownjobsecurity.com. My business book in progress from Stratton Press is Make Your Own Job Anytime, Anywhere, at any age. And this will be published in April 2020. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.